All right, let's see. Monday night. What the hell else do we need? Okay. Let's grab one of these guys. What's happening, everybody? No, screw it. We don't even need that. Let's get a different brush altogether. So, let's see. Oh, this thing's a pain in the butt sometimes. Let's see here. See if we can get Facebook to connect and stay on it for any amount of time. That'll work. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's Monday Night Madness, everyone. And I don't know what I have, what I need. All over the place. Let's see. All right. Now we're going to grab our little fan brush. You guys are going to tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? And we're going to come in and do this gorgeous little Aurora Borealis nighttime waterfall mountain crazy little winter scene. So it's going to be fantastic. All we're getting is a little of the titanium white paint from our Bob Ross set. And we've also used a little bit of the Meeden set, which is right down here, out of frame for most of the cameras except for TikTok. So if you want to get the Meeden set, go to my TikTok page. The link is in my bio. Now we're going to come over here and let's just decide these crazy bits of color. Look at all that change from the purple to the green. It's going to be fantastic. Come back in here, load it up again. Maybe we come from a different angle, but landing in the same spot, right? Always coming down, landing in that same little area down there. Like our little pivot point like we talk about all the time. Now this guy, going to come out, pick it up, throw it down. Dab in little pieces of paint, right? If you leave these little excess bits of paint, I got a burp. It's like I went running down the stairs to grab my bottle of water because I had forgotten, like always. You guys know me, I never remember everything. And so we'd forgotten the water and I ran down and now I'm all out of breath. That's not true, I'm not that out of shape. I'm not that out of shape, Josh. There we go, a couple little excess bits of white paint just on the top. And why do we do that, guys? Why do we do that? Does anybody know? Is anybody in the gallery of comments know? Look at that color. Oh, that's gorgeous right up there, guys. A little bit of purpley bit, right? This one's gonna be fantastic. So, does anybody know why? What was why we have all these little long bits? So there's excess paint on the canvas, so when we take it, they swipe up. Look at all that. Change from the bright to the darker blue. And as we come over here, we'll go from green to blue to green. Bang, just like that. Oh, it's so fantastic. Straight up through these guys. Lots of pressure. Boom, boom, boom. And you got this gorgeous little sky in about 3 seconds. Went from all that purple to the blue, got the crimson in the top, got the green, the other kind of a little blue stripe, got more green, got more blue. Just everywhere, guys. Turns out fantastic. And that's really pretty much all you need to do for the entire thing, right? Everything else underneath is just going to be a little bit of light. It's going to shine down underneath. Actually, no. Yeah, let's go like this. We're going to take a little bit of our white paint like that. I'm going to pull it down. All we need to do is have a little bit of color, right? You don't have to have it be super bright. You don't want it to be all kinds of crazy. And here's a little trick, right? If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you just saw me take my hand, put it back here behind the canvas, because we all know that little bar that sits, that little wooden bar back in there, if you push your hand outward, right, and go over where that bar is, like pushing the canvas towards us, it holds it away from the bar enough to where you can blend across that space and not have to worry about it, right? Just like that. It's gonna be fantastic. Now we're gonna come over here and boom, right? We have a nice, easy little piece of light right out there. No worries at all. Hey, now we're gonna have a piece of action we can kind of put our mountain against, right? You gotta have some light. If you just throw dark colors on top of dark colors, you're never gonna go anywhere. You're never gonna see anything. Nothing will ever stand out because it's all the same color, right? So we want to have a little bit of brightness down here. Maybe we'll throw a couple little stars out into the sky. Just, can I borrow a cup of stars, please? Just give me a cup of stars, thank you. I'm gonna put that out here on the edge of our fan brush. We're just gonna flick them out very softly. About 10 seconds, you fill up your entire sky. About 1 second, you fill up your entire sky with just 1 billion stars out there in the galaxy. Super easy. Super easy. Same fan brush and everything. All we did was add a little bit of liquid white paint. And the liquid white is very wet, and it makes it fling out very easily, right? Very easily. Now, let's see. There we go. There we go, you guys. Now, let's get the old palette knife out. A lot of the times people tell me in the comments, or they'll put it in the comment of another post and say, oh, I kind of struggle with the palette knife. So let's grab our palette knife, and then what we're gonna do is use it to mix up some paint. That's how we're gonna practice with it first, okay? So let's take the paint. Now, what 3 colors do we normally use to make up a bit of shadow? If you've ever seen one of my shows before, you should know these 3 colors. We talk about them all the time and which they are in order to make up a shadowy bit of paint, right? Now, does anybody know? We'll pin your comment. Oh, there it was. Blue, black, and crimson says Liz Troback. That's probably the hardest last name I've ever had to say. It's like throwback, but with a Troback. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't flow off my off my tongue easily. Your name is hard for me to say. That's upsetting. I'm sorry. Let's come over here with a bit of our darkness off of the brush, and we're going to decide where you want to put your mountain in, right? You want to have him just be nice and soft, little small little guy out there? Do you want it to continue to grow and grow and grow? How tall are you going to make yours is all up to you. How many little peaks and how many little sharp areas? How many little bits? How many little things came from over here, right? In this whole other little taller section of mountain. Just by mushing the paint on at random, we don't have to make it into a certain thing. It doesn't have to look like anything. You're just literally mushing it. And you can't tell me that you guys can't do this, right? People tell me all the time, I wish I could do that. You could do this. This is easy. We're just mushing some paint and spreading it out about as far as we could get it to go. All right, that's all you got to do. Make it look different than you did it last time, right? That's pretty much it. And all we're going to do is take our brush just like that and come in, and based off of our pressure, we decide if we want our little bit of mountain to slide all the way off the canvas, right, by pulling on it real hard, or if you just want to have it stay nice and dark, maybe not grow very far, just like that, coming in, very cool. Because we pulled in 2 different directions, you have these 2 different bits, right? That's almost like your mountain starts to become more and more 3D the more you pull on it in different ways. So if we pull it over here, right, then we know we're going to have one side that's sliding this way, one side sliding that way. We got a little thing back in here, and then one side sliding off the other way. All depends on how you pull the brush. Not me. This is my 893rd painting. That's a lot of paintings, you guys. 893, right? Now, I might have to go yell down to Bailey to be quiet because she is sort of loud enough for the entire audience to hear, I would imagine. So let's come over and go like this. We're going to take our knife right on the edge, run it through all that thick paint. We took a bit of our darkness, ran it through that paint, right, in order to dull it down so it's not so super bright blue. We'll come up here, we're going to scrape up, let's say, off the back side of our little peak. Boom. Pull it down with such light pressure, letting all that thick paint grab at this bit of our highlights, right? It's got to grab into it. Maybe off the back side of this guy, we got a whole other little bit of shininess coming down, right? And the more you pull on it, the lighter pressure you have it, the different angles that you pull on it at, just like that, right? You get these cool little things that start to build themselves. And then we go back and we get to decide where our highlights are, where our shadows are, where everything is. So we'll take our white, mix it up down here, littlest bit of blue. Don't need the whole bit of blue, all right? Sometimes you put too much blue in, it's going to be too blue. Can you imagine that? That doesn't even make any sense. If you put too much blue in, it'll be too blue? No, right? Now, we're going to come in, scrape up our very, very, very bright blue paint, very sky blue, which looks almost white compared to its darker blue shadowy counterpart, right? We can even make it a little bit brighter, just like that. Bang. Don't want to have it too close. Don't want to have it too bright. Got to save our perfect pure whites for as we get closer towards us. That's when the pure white paints start coming out. All right, now we're going to slide it down. It looks super bright white up there, right? Even though it's this very, very, very light colored blue that you have to have because you don't have it, can't have everything be exactly the same shape. You can't have it be exactly the same color. Because if it is, nothing's going to stand out as being different, right? And with these paints, you just such light little pressure as you drag down through there, it breaks and you get all these cool little things to happen. I mean, look at this. We'll come out over here. You don't even have to stay in your little shadowy area. Just whip it out to the side. Get your whole little, like a little ridge out there, right? Very cool. Very cool. A couple little swipes off the edge in random places. It'll look like the light's trying to reach its way over. Very neat. Now, let's come off the front side of this guy. Same bit of color. Going to come down in here, just wiggling along. I want it to be random, right? So we don't want it to be 100% perfectly the same thickness, the same brightness, all over everywhere, right? Even pulling it at different angles at different times to make it look different. Imagine the things we can do if we make it different at different times. There we go. And we take some of the white and pull it down here. Have our whole little ridge grow, right? You never even knew that ridge was there until we painted it. Take some of our shadows, slide it back behind the ridge. A little bit more of our paint, mixing it up down here. And all of a sudden, we're all set and ready to go. Look at that, right? Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I'm going to take a little of our deepest, darkest color. We're going to drop some of it in back in this shadowy. Almost dropped that palette knife on my Jordans. That would have really messed me up. There we go. A little bit of a deep, dark, original purple color that almost looks pure black. We put that back into the shadowy sides of our mountain, right? Just like so. Now we're going to take a 2-inch brush. We're going to come very lightly from the edge. This is when you need a lot of the third P of Paint with Josh. And who knows the third P of Paint with Josh? Anybody? Anybody in the comments know the third P? Because it's almost the most important thing that you need in order to not put too much of the second P or too much of the first P. All depends if you know the P's. You might know what the heck we're talking about, right? So I'll give it to you in case no one's telling you in the comments. Practice, right? It's practice, practice, practice. You gotta have practice if you want to make it look like Josh's. You're not just gonna do it right on the first go, right? And be perfect on the first go. If you do, please hit me up because I want to come take a class from you. If you get it on your very first shot, you need to be where I'm at, man. Maybe we can work a deal out, right? Something crazy. Take a bit of our white paint, put it back in here. And why do we do that? Just to add a little bit of misty, shadowy color is all it is. It's not a cloud. It's not a bit of fog. I mean, it could be. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be whatever you want it to look like. All it is a bit of color, just like we had underneath our mountains so the darkness of the mountain would stand out, right? Same thing. Come back, same color of the brush, of the mountain that we just did. Loading up our fan brush. With the rest of that little pile, maybe we came over here like this. We started popping out these little things, right? And as you go out, they're going to start to separate the edges of our brush. So we need a little bit more paint, all 3 colors. Keep it nice and sharp. Dropping a fair amount of paint. And look what we're doing. We're coming up into that misty section, right? Covering the majority of it, only leaving this top little bit where our mountain kind of disconnects itself from these trees, right? You don't need to show everything. You don't have to have everything on the canvas. You don't have to paint everything. That's the most fun thing about our technique is you don't even have to paint it all the way to the edge. You really don't. You really don't. In this case, we're going to, but you don't have to. You really don't have to. There we go. Now, I want to know who was watching the show earlier today on TikTok, the morning show. We did a show at like 11:15 this morning, I think. We painted a little man in the boat, and we talked about him a lot today. So, you know, the kids don't know what we're talking about, but the adults do. We know what we're talking about. We talked about the man on the boat a lot today as I was painting a little man sitting in his boat out there in the ocean. It was fantastic. We had a lot of people going with the laughy emojis as we were having a good time over on TikTok this morning. So if you don't follow us over on TikTok, make sure you follow me over there. We do most of my live creating is done over on TikTok, right? Let's get a little bit more of that white paint. Just a touch, maybe some from our little snow action right down here. Just to pop it in. You want to pop it and then move. Don't just put it all in one spot. It'll be way too much. Now, let's dab the brush off on a paper towel. Turn it upside down. Come over here. All right, so most of my live creation is done on TikTok. We do the Monday night shows and the Friday night shows over here on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, of course. But most of the live creating is done over there, and it's done over there so I don't clog up my feed with everything, you know what I mean? If we did, I literally do sometimes 1 to 2 shows a night, right? And so what we'll do is that'll be 2 Facebook videos, 2 Facebook pictures about the video that we just did. It would be too much. It starts to fill up the feed too much, you know what I mean? And so TikTok, the videos disappear after we're done. You never see them again. If you're not there to watch it live, you never see it. And so I download those videos and I put them on my YouTube page. And you guys can find them if you want to find them by going to youtube.com/paintwithjosh/join. And that'll get you to the YouTube page where you can pay $7.99 And that $7.99 a month basically opens the door to all of these hidden TikTok streams that you've never seen before, or you might have only seen the photo. Now, you know what looks really cool sometimes, and especially if the trees are kind of out there in the distance, we'll get a little bit of white, just a touch, right? And every so often, I'm gonna come through and see if we can't just get a couple of these guys just to stand out, be a little brighter. Maybe it look like there's a little bit of difference in between it. Maybe the one's got a little snow-covered top or something. Something besides all the same color. And that'll about do it right there. That will about do it. Okay, wiping off the brush, coming back in with our white. There's no way it's only been 15 minutes. Has it only been 15 minutes? There's no way. I don't even have my watch on. According to the clock, it's only been 15 minutes since we started painting, and this painting's about to be done in about 15 more minutes. So let's come over here with our bit. We've got our undercolors back there, so we're just gonna start dropping on the white. We're gonna start bringing it out towards us, but you can't just come straight down, right? That'll look weird. If you're gonna do a river that's moving towards you, you gotta come out, then you gotta stop, you gotta start going back the other way. Boop. How many times you wanna do it? You can do it multiple times, right? All up to us, where you have it, how far it is. You want it to sort of be straight. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just a little mess out there, and I'll show you. I'll show you. We're not even really worried about what it looks like. Take a brush, very lightly, swiping it side to side, right? Dragging this bit out. Now we're gonna pull this guy out, but we're gonna leave that dark section in between. All right, we're gonna take this guy back this way, pulling him over here, letting it get thicker and wider. All right, and all of a sudden we got this little bit of water as it's rolling towards us. Maybe there's a little waterfall right there. If so, we'll come back, take a small bit of our titanium white and just right over the edge, just right there. Nothing too crazy, right? The water came back, rolled over there. We're gonna touch the top a little bit. Swiping that back, grab the bottom, swipe that guy, add a couple little extra bits of brightness, right? And all of a sudden, got our little river walking right towards us. Eventually he's gonna come out and fall off the edge of the canvas, or gets to a point where, bang, falls over into a little waterfall, and then down into another pool that's down here. Anything you wanna do, you can do on this canvas, I swear. I swear. Who sang that song? That I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky. Was that All for One? I think it was All for One. Oh, no, maybe not. I don't know. Was it All for One? I think it was All for One, guys. If it was, good for All for One. Because I swear you guys can do this. You can do it just the same as I can do it. There is no difference. Sure, I've had a little bit more practice than you've had, right? No big deal. You can do it, I swear. I swearsies. All right, let's get another brush. Let's come back and decide where we want to have our land come in, right? So let's say we take a little bit of our sap green, maybe the teensiest touch if we can get, look at that. Hey, there's some yellow coming out. Perfect. Just need a little bit. Now, what if we come over here and we start popping in a little bit of that grass? Look how far I'm coming out into the water, right? Because the water doesn't tell me where I get to go. I'm telling the water where I'm gonna put it and what's gonna show and what I'm gonna allow, right? Come in here with a bit of grass as we pop down, just in between that little dark area. Now we've got a piece of land in between there. See how easy that is? Maybe we come down over here from the side. We start popping it in, and then we come into this little bit of darkness, right? Because there must be some bit of land if the water is going to drop down like that. It's going to have something, and now we're starting to cover over all of our stuff. And what do we always say? You have to cover it to give it that distance and that detail and the depth, right? All that stuff. Way back there. See, we come over here. We come over here and you got all this grass just chilling right on the edge. We can put some trees, we can put some rocks, we can put whatever we want to put out there. Just like that. Now come back, we're gonna load up those 3 of my favorite dark colors, and you guys might have been watching earlier, maybe you just tuned in right now and you have no idea what those 3 dark colors are. Well, they're right here on the brush, right here waiting for you. I'm gonna put a big old tree right here too, just because. Boom, is gonna come live right down on the edge of that little bit of water back in there. And maybe we got another little guy. It's gonna be a little shorter. Back off there. So let's pop in this little short guy first. All we're doing, plopping him down. A little bit skinnier at the top, a little bit fatter at the bottom. That's all we need. It's just like all of us as we get older, right? Except for me, I think I'm getting rounder in the middle, fatter on the bottom, everywhere, just everywhere. There we go. Gorgeous little bit of tree back in here, guys. This is going to be one of those little sticky trees. You got to get it very lightly up into the snow. And then as we come down, we're going to push harder and harder and harder and harder, plopping in our little tree trunk right there. Very cool. Take this guy over there. Pop in a few little guys over here. And then we'll go back and highlight everything and make them all stand out. All right, so just like that. Got a couple trees on the edge of our little river, overhanging the little waterfall. We can put a few rocks in right here if there's a little elevation change. Maybe there's a little bit of rocky. That whole thing just became a giant rock now. Bam, just like that, just by covering it up. Taking it down here to the darkness, covering up all the green that we just put there. And as soon as you go back across it with just a touch of our little rocky color, right, just like this, scraping it up, getting it through there, and then, look at that. You have this gorgeous little round-looking little thing right out here. The more you mix it, the darker it'll go. Come back, scrape up a bit more of that color, drag it off lightly, lightly, lightly towards the edge. All of a sudden, you got a wicked little rock just sitting out there, right? Pretty neat. Pretty neatly done, if you ask me. And since we're over here on the tree trunks and stuff, we might as well get our little tree trunk color. Start tapping that guy all the way up the top. And you can see it doesn't come off the same everywhere. Because each time you touch it, it's almost like you touch it together and it goes like this. And then when you pull it apart, it's still got all those little bits that are like reaching for each other, right? So when you mash it together and then you pull it apart and it's got those little fingers, I call them, right? Those little fingery bits. Those are the bits, right? And as you keep mushing over those little fingery bits, they start to change color and dull and switch and move and all that stuff. Pop a little tree trunk inside that guy. If we can get enough bright paint. There we go. All right, you don't need a whole lot of tree trunk or anything inside these trees because they end up getting covered over a lot by our highlights. Just like that. Gorgeous. Come over here. Take this guy just like this. And we're going to come up here and start popping in. And as we go down, we're just going to push with more pressure. All right, so we start with the corner of the brush. And then by the time that we're down here, we're using the whole bit. Back and forth, filling it all up, covering everything in. Right, covering over our bit of our river. We all know it's back there. The water goes like this, and then this, and then this, right? So we know it's back there. You don't have to show the whole bit. You don't want to show everything. If you show everything, then you're either looking down at it from above, or you're placing everything so strangely that you can see it all that it's not going to be perspectively correct. So don't trip and just go crazy, man. Literally. It's a lot of fun. Come out here with Paint with Josh, throw some paint at the canvas, end up having a lot of fun. And half the time we're just mushing, right? That's the word I use most often, mush, because that's all we do. We're just mushing stuff onto the canvas. You want to have those little textury, little fingery bits. You guys know the fingers, the little thingies, right? They're the best in a tight spot. Oh man, the little innuendos on this show, let me tell you. There we go. Now, let's come back. We'll make up a little bit of our brown and the yellow over here to make our little tree trunks on these guys, since I didn't even realize we were going to have two of them. Let's pop a little guy in over here, right? Don't have to have it everywhere. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. Doesn't even have to look like it connects. You're literally going to cover over it anyway. Now, let's go over here, wash the brush, and I'll be right back with you guys in just a second. Just give me a moment, please, and I'll be right back. So, at this time, you guys are going to tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? And there is so much dark color in that brush that this is the third time that we've washed it, and it still won't come out. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Got that. We might as well wash all these stinking brushes while we got it in a few seconds. So, tell me where you're watching from, guys. We'll give a couple shout-outs about where people are. Let's see. We got bacon and lettuce and tomato in Ohio, Texas. Where we got people watching from Florida, Elko, Nevada. I can't believe Elko. People live in Elko, Nevada. That's only a place I've ever heard of. I didn't know people actually live there. Right? There's nobody lives in Elko. That's just a name you see from the highway. No one ever goes there. Honestly, I didn't think people lived up there. I thought it was like an industrial, like an old mining town or something. Old mining town. Let's see. All right, so 2 more brushes and we'll be ready to paint. You guys tell me where you're watching from and what's your favorite sandwich. I don't know when I started asking that or why I started. I mean, I know why. I started asking it because it's an easy question for you guys to answer. And therefore, I'll get more comments because it's an easy thing to answer, right? And now it's turned into this whole... It's like people are placing orders when we come in. Oh, I'll have a BLT with cheese on the side and some Vegemite and all sorts of other crazy stuff that our Australian fans really like. It was funny, I had a comment or a conversation in the comments that somebody was like, you know, I normally say I would try everything, but I've never heard of this Vegemite. I was like, trust me, you won't try it. The smell will put you off trying Vegemite. It is not a good smell, therefore it cannot be a good taste. Cannot be. There we go. All right. Now, we've only got a couple things left to do, guys, and this one will be all set and ready to go. So if you want to buy this painting, you can go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com and purchase this one right here as it sits right now. And however it finishes is how it finishes. Or you can wait and see what it looks like at the end, and by that time, somebody might have picked it up instead of you. I'm just saying it happens. It does happen. It does happen. So if you want to get it now before it disappears forever. And you can get it by going to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Let's see. I wonder where the heck I put this big old sucker over here. Now we're going to take a little of our liquid white into the sap green. And that sap green is going to just be the most gorgeous little color on the edge of these trees as we start to come in and we start to tap. And we tap. And we got to make sure that you've got enough liquid white in the mixture in order for it to come off of your brush. So if you're tapping at it and it's not coming off, you go back, add a little bit more liquid white, and then watch the sucker start coming off of our tree. Right? Popping here, popping there, getting everywhere. Then we come cover over our little bit, and we start working it backwards and backwards, and then you have this very dark side of our tree and a very bright side of our tree, adding all sorts of depth and distance and all kind of stuff in there. Just wicked like that. Now we'll come off this little baby tree. He's so small. Little teeny taps, not trying to cover every piece of dark. If you lose all the little dark areas, then you've lost all your depth, right? So don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Don't lose all your darkness. That's not what you want to do. Come over here, tap a couple little bits. Just by popping them in, not trying to cover all of our little trunky section, right? Just a few little things, back and forth, back and forth. Now, I like using a little smaller brush because you can add more little bits of shadow and depth and all that stuff versus one big brush that tends to cover too much too fast, in my opinion. At least the way that I do it. You might be doing it separately or a different way that's different from me, and that's totally fine. That's perfect, right? That's what art is all about. We're both using the same brushes. We're all using the same colors, right? There's not like we're all of a sudden just making new colors in the world. Pretty sure all the colors that have ever been made, pretty much made by now. So we're all using all the same stuff. And yet we can have all these crazy, crazy different reactions or results with the same materials, which is just insane to me. It's the best thing about art. Literally the best thing is we can all use the same thing and everything's going to come out different. It's always going to be a bit different, which is more fun to me anyway. There we go. Very cool. Now, we're going to take a little bit of our titanium white, going to come in here, going to scrape along the edge just very randomly one time. Doesn't even have to be perfect. You don't want it to be perfect. You don't want it to be a straight unbroken thing. You want it to be weird, right? Just like that. You want it to be weird. You got to have it out there, right? Maybe this guy, ooh, we could waterfall his whole, we might have to put another rock in over here too. But just in case, let's pop in a couple little bits of just straight to the side, little bits of water detail, a couple little ripples, right? That's all it is. And it's nothing, right? It's not a ripple. It's just a straight to the side bit of pull of our knife, right? So nothing too crazy about it, but it adds that little touch of detail back in there, right? That littlest thing that helps everything blend together, or that one little piece that's gonna catch your eye, right? Okay, now over here we've got one more piece of rock. Let's do another couple. Now, you know what we could do right there? Check this out. Let's get our big fat nasty bush making brush right here. A lot of bush come out of this brush, right? And say we didn't want to have this bit of our water, so we wanted to cut it off again. If we pop in some bushes at the base of this tree right here, it's going to make it look like these trees are right up here in front with us. It's going to be awesome. Just fantastically awesome, right? Popping it down, maybe they're dragging down, who knows? There's going to be a whole lot of craziness happening on that guy right there. Then we're going to put one more little piece of rock in, and then we're going to be just about done. Now this guy, right, he's going to come across here. He's going to go up, going to cover over that bit, going to cover over where our water is going to come out, and then we're going to add our water falling out on a different brush. Just like this one. Now, come on over there. We're going to come over here, and then we're going to come off the side and go down. So off and over to the edge. Off and down. Off and down, right? Get all that little bit. Take this guy, pull it back to the side. Back to the side and throw it away. Over there, right? Little bits, little things, little here, little there. Nothing too crazy. Take these guys down here. We're really going to mix up the bottom, have it nice and splashy and textury like that. Very lightly going across it, just to... So light, not like smacking it, right? Not a little smack like that. Just a very light little soft little, just a little baby little touch right there. A little teeny tininess. All right, and then we're gonna come in, pop in a bit of that white right there. Woo! That's cool. That is cool. Also, along with this little waterfall, you get a little spray that starts to come out and cover over all this other different stuff. Adds all that depth and distance and all the good stuff coming out from right there. So let's take the last brush. Gotta wash this bit off real fast. And then we're gonna come over and throw just a couple little colors on these guys right here in the front, right? Very neat looking. So let's get a bit of our yellow ochre and a bit of that crimson color from the Meaden set. Pop those guys in there, a little bit of red. Change over to our Bob Ross, that bright red that he's got. Bit of difference, go back to that yellow ochre, popping that guy in. Little things start to change and they start to fall over and you get all these cool little bits of very deep, dark, reddish, orangey flowers out there. Very cool. Right? If we can get a little bit of that bright yellow to stick on, just the teeniest, tiniest touch, just a little touch of it, that's all we need. I just want to touch it just a little, just softly, a little soft little touch. Oh, right there. Little things, guys. See how it just brings those trees instantly in the front and kind of hides them behind all of that mess. Very cool. Now we're going to highlight the last little bit of our rock back in here. Little things going down, going over there, going down, just like that. Wicked. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I like it, guys. One little touch. Now we're going to come back with the last bit of our spray, getting it all over the rocks and everything else, just throwing it out like that. It's fantastic. Fantastic. So, oh yeah, I like it. I like it, guys. I like it. Now, let's get this last bit of our dark color on the brush, and we're going to grab a little bit of our odorless mineral spirits, going to run it right through this section right here, and then make a few little tree branches off of that guy. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too really detailed. Or they're going to stand out and they're going to be like, people are going to start questioning you. Don't you think those should be over here and this should be a little darker and the highlight should be over there and blah, blah. So don't give it too much detail. Otherwise, people like to put their 2 cents in, right? And they like to tell you just how bad they think you messed it up. So don't give them the opportunity, guys. Don't do it. Now, just like that, we're going to take our little... We're going to take our birds, we're going to fly them up through the sky, we're going to sign the painting. You guys are going to tell me what are we going to name it, and if anybody purchased it. I don't know because I'm in the middle of the stream, and I have no idea with all 3 of the cameras rolling. It doesn't tell me when or if it sold. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. We'll see. If it didn't, we'll go over to our 500,000 Facebook followers and post it over there. Maybe somebody over there will want it. So, finishing it up right here with the last bit of our birds flying through the sky. And then, just like that. That looks cool. I love these colors, guys. Really wicked colors. Bailey, I'm in the middle of doing a show, please. I'm in the middle of doing a show. Can you please keep it down? Okay, let's finish. Let's spin it around. I'm going to spin you guys around, and then we're going to name the sucker, and then we'll be all set. So, what do we got for names for this one, guys? Needs a UFO in it. I feel you on that. There's no room for a UFO in this guy, actually. No UFO needed. Mysterious mountains. I like that comment. This is so pretty, says Peggy. I feel you. I appreciate you. It's fabulous, says Diva over on Facebook. Thank you guys all for watching and tuning in and hanging out. This was a gorgeous little 35-minute stream, and apparently you guys over on YouTube didn't see any of the sky the way that the camera's sitting, so that's irritating. But it is what it is. You know, we'll figure it out. Cosmic Wave, Church Mountain. Let's see, Sherbert Ridge, Twin Peaks. Oh, I like that. That's one of my favorite places to go to. Kathy 8. Let's comment. Let's pin you right there. Twin Peaks. Because there are 2 peaks right there. I see what you did there. I see what you did. So again, guys, this one's number 893. It was a quick 35-minute painting and tutorial video, which turned out fantastic if you ask me. So I don't want to hang up here for too long because that's what we always do. I always hang out here for another half hour chit-chatting with you guys, answering all your questions. Is this 893 or 4? I think it's, I'm going to wait. I think it's 3. Pretty sure it's 3, but I'm going to wait just to make sure I don't do it incorrectly. Now we're going to call this one Twin Peaks, and it's going to be awesome. Painted it on 8/7 of 2023, and we're all going to go to, what's the website, guys? paintwithjosh.com. I have gigantic news, enormous news to announce. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to or not. I'd have to ask my manager. He's not here. But more ginormous news, like I told you guys, was going to be coming. It's here, and I just don't know if I can announce it yet, so we're not going to. We're going to hold back. But follow me over on Facebook. I've got enormous news that any artist, whether it be, you know, even Bob Ross would be excited about this news. Were he still alive, he'd be like, yeah, get that. Yeah, good news, bro, right? So, I'm going to finish washing off these brushes. And you guys are going to just lastly tell us where you're watching from, just so I like to know where people are watching from. And I'm going to wash these off, and then we're going to call it a night. I can't believe we did a Monday Night Madness in 35 minutes. And that is a goal in itself. There we go. This, get that. And then, let's say goodbye to everybody. Turn off all the cameras and go enjoy the rest of my night. I gotta finish editing the new tutorial for Wednesday. It comes out, I'll make you guys wait to see it. If you didn't go over to my Facebook page, it's over there if you want to see it. It's posted to my Facebook page. And it comes out on Wednesday, not tomorrow, but the next day. And I just filmed it today. That's how quick the turnaround is around Paint with Josh. Film it today, put it out tomorrow. Let's see. Just like that. Bam, 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 bam. These guys. We always end up using so many brushes, guys. I'm always in like a rush, and I'm like, okay, if I don't clean the brush right now, that'll make it go faster. And then I ended up cleaning them at the end anyway. So, either which way, it doesn't matter. Go. All right, last one. There we go, guys. So this one came out fantastic. I'm going to say goodbye to all 3 of the platforms at once, and then I'll go check my phone and see if we sold the painting or not, or whatever. So all you guys on TikTok, if you want to get this painting set, we use some of the colors inside this kit on our painting today, along with the Bob Ross colors. So if you want to get that, go to the link. It's in my bio over on TikTok. You don't even have to follow me on TikTok to go get the link. It's over there, or go find the link over on Facebook. But until I see you guys again next time, I would like to say thank you for tuning in, for hanging out, and I am out of breath. A lot of quick, fast speaking in 30 or 40 minutes. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, love you guys. Can't wait to see you on the next video. And until we see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And bow, get them out of here. We're done for the eve. You guys. Bam, bam.